Hello, my name is Russell Scott at scottcarvings.com, and today I'm going to carve out another one of these Chef Santa ornaments. Little curlicue. Except this one, I made this a little bigger for the sake of, so you can see it better than me carving some little thing, and it'd be difficult for you to see. And then also what I did is I always take, that was my first round, this is my first round of this particular model, and this is like round number 2 in development. And so what I like to do is like to copy what I've done before, take a picture, put it on Photoshop and shrink it and enlarge it and move this here and stretch this out there and move that down there. I like to do that a lot with all of my creations. And so let's see what happens when we do this. Before I go on, I wanted to tell you about my rough outs. I do have rough outs at scottcarvings.com. I also have this flyer on a PDF file in the rough out section. Yeah, I have all of these different human figure. I don't have any animals, but human figure. Here's the latest. These things are really quite popular. And then I got my books and videos. And of course you can see me at scottcarvings.com. Where is it? There it is. Also I'm at Pinterest /rscott56. And then of course there's YouTube. I'm also on Etsy.com. Look me up there. Alright, well there's that, and then here's some example of the rough outs that nice and clean. I got a guy who does a good job of roughing it. That's my Santa with a Chef Santa with a bowl and spoon. Here's my Chef Santa with a plum pudding. Now this thing here, according to the pictures, I have the plum pudding in flames and then also the frosting, but you can only pick one but not the other. Either it has frosting with no flames or flames with no frosting. And of course, naturally, if you try to burn frosting, you'll have a real stink mess. And here's my little squatty Chef Santa holding a cookbook. Again, these are at scottcarvings.com under my rough out section. And now that I've taken care of that, a word from our sponsor. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but let's get it getting. And gotta put this to the side a little bit for now, even though it's going to be quite different. So pencil, I want to start. This is the right side. And oh, by the way, I got to show you. This is the best way to get the pattern. Here, let's go this way. Is for you to stop your video and go in the upper right hand. You see a PRN, CRN, or CR. It's a print screen button. You press it. That's how you can get pictures from your screen. And then there's the front and here's the side, and then you do a Control V in your either Photoshop or whatever. There's the back. I mean, it's the same thing as the front, only in reverse, just in case if you didn't get it. Actually, here's the, yeah, this is the side. Yeah, I won't show you the other patterns because I've just done all kinds of Frankenstein's creature to it, and I'd rather start with what we got here. And start in. Take pencil first thing. Let's get, what I want to do is I want to do this, and it's going to, the thing that I'm adding is I'm adding a little flop down on the other, on this side here, so it's going to be more of a flopping down. I'm sorry, I got to tilt this a little bit. think we still got enough wood that if I goof up and do one thing what I shouldn't, we have enough. And the rest is put the center down. Center down. Put a pencil down the center line. And don't worry about that. We'll take care of that when we get there. And same with the ears. We'll go along with the ears a little later. Right now, I just want to round this off. Right now is rounding off, but I got this here. Now what's going to happen is, because what's going to happen here, where are we here? I gotta get my, this is going to be kind of a flapping, like I said, flapping down. Oops, 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 like this here. Sorry. Ignore. And of course, as I keep forgetting to bring an eraser over here. You know that rubber thing that's at the end of a pencil? I have no idea what it is, but it's certainly not an eraser. Unless it dries out or something. Okay, so what I want to do, before I round it out, I want to take those lines, and I want to take my V tool, and just kind of see what's going to happen here is that this is the top of the hat, and then part of the hat is here, and then the face is going to be here, the eyes and the nose. So let's just take a V tool on some of this. And this thing actually should go. Yeah, come on up here because that's all going to disappear. Make sure your tools are sharp. Got on to really figuring out how to sharpen tools a lot easier as of late. And not only are they much sharper, but I can keep them sharp all the time. So we're going to round off. I want to take this, start in. See, make your stop cut and then go with the grain so it'll pop out. This one, with the exception of the face, and even with the face for me, is this should be a relatively easy project. Now for me it's very, very easy. And as I have shown you in my other videos, what you want to do is you want to put your thumb on the knife. And if you put your thumb on your knife thumb, you get a wider range than with, but the thing is that this thumb will not really particularly be happy with what you're doing. I have to think about it, especially when I'm on video. Gotta make sure I do this absolutely correct. And the thing too is, like I've done with my other projects, or my other videos, a lot of them are, I mean, I try to get at least one or two done to get all the kinks out of it, but a lot of times that I like to change up something, and that's one good thing about having cutouts instead of roughouts. So roughouts you can probably change up something. That's what I've done. But I like to, roughouts you can just experiment with something and one way or the other. I'm going to leave that there. I'm a little nervous about that. I'm going to leave that alone. I think I may have been a little too premature with that. So let's just hold that there for now. And it'll get round out if I'm wrong, right or wrong. Okay, now we'll just round off the top. Just take the corners off for now. Corners and my playing the video. Let's see, I got heavy light on. I think I might have a scratch in there in my knife. Where is it? Do I have a scratch? I thought I saw a scratch. A little dent. Yeah, there it is. I don't know if you could see it, but other than that, it's really a nice sharp knife. Like I said, one of the best ways to tell if your knife is sharp is it should cut almost like plastic, and it should almost feel like plastic, really smooth. I don't know if the camera can catch that. See, once in a while you get those little, there's a little dent in there somewhere. I'll take it out a little later. Right now I just want to round things out a bit. I remember when I was a younger wood carver, I would, and I think it's still a good idea, I still kind of do it today, is when you start a project, make sure you're making sure your knife is really, really sharp. I think I'm getting a little bit of snow in there. You know, a little bit of, it's like baby powder or something. It's because it's not 100% sharp. But I like to do the top first, because you really got to have a good sharp knife on the top, taking this stuff off. It's still in the camera. Gotta twist around a little bit here. Or what I could do is just turn it there we go, hope I didn't make you zoom on the edge there. Okay, good. Oh yeah, there is a nice scratch. Still pretty square, but we get to rounding out a little later, because I always like to put the face in, because then you know where everything is after the face. Everything goes around the face. Or if you want to have the hat tilt a little bit one way, maybe you can do another one. Have the hat tilt. And that's the thing I always encourage, that when you carve from somebody or yourself, you carve, you know, somebody's book, you make this Santa, or you make that dog or whatever, is to carve it again and again to make sure that you really understand how, not only how that figure is to be, but how to get to that figure. It's always about the approach that always gets me. You know, it's, you can take a block of wood and you know, I could look at a block of wood and I'm looking at a figurine or a pattern or whatever. I can see it. I can see. I'm not blind. I could see it, but how can I translate that on a block of wood? And once you do it a first time, a second time, a third time, then not only will that figure get better, but then when you do the next figure, especially if it's close to that type of figure, then you really get the hang of it right off the bat. Hold on a second, I'll move that out of the way. Do one of these, and then one of these. Why do I let the chips fly? Here, let me put this on. I gotta adjust my seat a little bit here. Oh, sorry about that. I'm running into the camera, or the camera's running into me, one of the two. There, okay. All right, now, like I said, I want to round this out. It is relative, I almost want to say a cylinder. Except, I mean, well, you know, when you get to the curly Q here, we can round it just a little bit. But it's just almost, we can say, for all practical purposes, it's almost a cylinder. We want to make sure we got enough for the nose and the ears. And everything else, let's just make this square peg into a round peg. Round peg. And also at the same time, getting rid of a lot of saw marks. My saw marks, the wood guy's saw marks. Oops, don't bury the tip. Same with your chisel. Don't bury the sides of the chisel. This is a nice piece of wood. At the same time, I got a nice sharp knife. That's what I like to do when I make a square peg into a round peg, just to turn the wood. Oh, jeez. I'm going to have to go this way because that's like, it's hard to hang on to as you rotate. Make sure you scoop, because you got to have the knife goes in and the knife's got to come out. Right, now we're going out. Rounding and getting those saw marks up. Now this, like my other videos, I'll try to slow down this time. I did in my absolute beginning. I tried to slow way down, but generally these are high pace videos to try to put everything in a shorter video. You can always turn it off, or not turn it off. You can pause it, catch up, rewind, figure out what the heck I did, what I did, and why I did it. Maybe not so much why. See, we're starting around, and this is the easy part and the boring part. Sometimes when I watch a video, especially in the old days when I watch other wood carvers' videos, they would say, okay, we're going to round this, and then I just turn it off and round it, and I'll come back. Yeah, the videos were not particularly all that available when I was learning to carve. Then getting back to, like I said, getting back to, you carve from a cutout or whatever, rough out either which way, and you go back and do another one, and when you get better at carving, then when you do go to a class, a wood carving class, because some of them are 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, which, well, at the end of 3 days you are pretty darn tired, want to go home, but you want to maximize that time with that instructor and get the most out of it, and that's what I did when I took classes quite a while ago. What I wanted to do was, see, I couldn't take a square peg and make it into a round peg, and if I was here, doing this, okay, now it's time to do the face. Wait a minute, I'm not close. But what I did was, that's how I practice. Of course, watch what I'm doing, carving faster like this, because I want to get to that point where the instructor does something that I really want to learn. I mean, you look at these, they show you the go-by that they have, and you say, I want to learn that. Well, a lot of the things you want to learn has to take place well after you prepare it. And so that's the other reason why you want to learn to say carve fast or carve good, so that you'll get your money's worth. I'm gonna forego that right now. I think I can shape it a little later. I'm not sure how that, because that's in the back. That'll be in the back, so if I did goof it up, it'll probably be okay, but I think we're still okay. The way, because I did want to shift this. I think that's the thing I'm goofing here, is I want to tilt this down a little bit. There, so give it a little bit of a tilt. That's what I'm kind of going for. See if it tilts. This is the front. You know, here, let's do this.